As a financial analyst, I've been advised to never try to predict the future price of a stock. And if you are stupid enough to do it, do not put a date to attach to it, because you can only be wrong. Well, I believe I've developed a system through which I am analyzing the 40 stocks that I'm interested in as a part of the AI revolution. And NVIDIA is at the top of them, and that's the one that I'm willing to share with you today, what I think the price is going to be on December the 31st, 2024, 25, and 26. I do this based on the knowledge I've acquired over the years that the purpose of a company is to generate revenue and then turn that revenue into profits. And if you can turn it into profits, you will build a history that will give some indication of what future profits will generate in future price. What I've done is gather the past data on NVIDIA's earnings per share and how they relate to the increase in price in the stock, and then take the projections that I get from their earnings reports and other analysts, and then project if in fact the earnings per share, the earnings go up as they say they are, and I use past history as my reference point, I can then create a reliable projection of what the price will be in the future. Will it be right on? No, I'm sure it will not be right on. But will it give me a reference as to how it will perform relative to the other 39 stocks that I analyze? Yes. And so then I can determine what percentage of my portfolio do I want in a stock that over the next 3 years will give me a 200% return, as opposed to a stock that'll give me a 1,200% return. And then I can make better investment decisions. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, and you might have noticed I dressed for the part. Okay, this is an example of the analysis work that I do. And this red box up here is NVIDIA. And what I do is I go back to 2009 and I start with the earnings per share. As you can see, they lost 1 cent, and then they lost 3 cents, and then they went up to 11 cents. And then up here, I show the percentage of that change. Then what I do is I show you the price of the stock at that time. So in 2009, the stock was $4.29, and with a 200% increase in their loss, you can see the price dropped by 18%. And then it went up to 11 cents earnings, and the price of the stock actually went down from 353 to 318. And so what I'm really trying to do is to create a pattern that I can look at it over the years that they've been in business since 2009 and get a relationship to how does their earnings per share affect their stock price. And what you see here, this is the average. So the average growth in their earnings per share has been 73%, and as you'll recognize that's really powered by a few very strong years. And again, it's from 3 cents to 11 cents, and back here we're from $3.34 to $12.96. So that gives us an average of 73% increase per share since 2009, increase in earnings per share. What this then does is say, how does that affect the price of the stock? Well, it's saying for every 73% that that the earnings go up, the stock price goes up 64%, or that's a relevance of 88%. All right? So with that in mind, then I go and I extract what are they projecting their earnings per share to be in 2024, 2025, 2026, and 2027. Then I compare that from my starting point, and that is $475.69 based on, and that is the price of NVIDIA on January the 1st, 2024. This is their current price, $1,142.34. So based on this relevance, 88%, and the increase or the price of their their earnings, $12.96, in 2024, I'm projecting the price of their stock on December the 31st will be $1,775.13. I then take that same algorithm that I've created and I apply it to their projected earnings in 2025 of $26.99, and I come up with a price in 2025 of $1,265.73. And then I do the same thing for 2026, and that tells me that between today and that December the 31st, 2026, I will yield a 112% return on my investment if I invest in NVIDIA today at this price. Okay? Now, I'm happy to say that I have a lower price, and so my gain will actually be greater. But and do I believe this is an exact number? No, I do not. But what I do believe is history gives me a means by which to project if they hit their numbers, and that is a very important factor. If they hit those earnings numbers, earnings per share, I will achieve those, something in that range. Now, what I also know is these numbers will change because on every earnings report, and this $26.99 is a compilation of what NVIDIA says they're going to achieve, as well as what analysts who have past knowledge believe they're going to achieve. So if in their next earnings report they guide that down, I will come in here and change that number and probably these two numbers, and that will change that price. Okay? So that's how I go about it. Is it 100% accurate? No. But what I also want you to know, what it does is it gives me some guidance as to how much of my portfolio do I want in NVIDIA. If there you see that those numbers just changed because the price today just changed on NVIDIA. So as I was saying, knowing that I've got 121% or 112% potential gain between now and January or December the 31st, 2026, how much do I want to put in? Well, first of all, I never invest more than 5% of my portfolio in any one stock. But look down here. Here's some of the other stocks that I do. This is Novartis. Ticker symbol NVTS. I'm projecting a gain on it of 1,180%. Again, on NVIDIA, 112%. So do I want to bring that into my consideration as to how much do I want in NVIDIA and how do I want in Navitas? Of course it does come into the equation. So that's how I use this, and that's what I share with my tribe members. And again, I want you to understand, I was asked the question, and I take these numbers and I put them on my cheat sheet. Let me show you what I'm talking about there. This is my cheat sheet, okay? And so what I do over here is I take the numbers that I derive from my analysis and I add them to the numbers that I have over here. This is the current price of NVIDIA. That's its market cap. This is where I want to buy it today, and that's based on my technical analysis that I think it could come down to $923. And then what I do is this is the number that I projected it will be at the end of 2025. This is what the analysts tell me it will be at the end of this year, and this is the tech analysis. And then I say, if I'm able to buy it at my return at my target price, and that is, again, $923, I'll make 31% on it based on these prices. If I buy it, though, at today's price, based on this analysis, I'll make 6%. So that's how I go about it. I think the real crux of this, though, is this. This is something, I was a financial advisor for many years. I didn't have this information available to me. This is the use of data and then creating an algorithm around that data to help me make better decisions. I don't want to own a whole lot of stocks, and I don't want to be in a whole lot of sectors, because I can't right now do this kind of analysis without my AI factory. That's coming in the future. I'll be able to do this with my AI factory on every stock in the world. Now, going through and sorting it might be something different, but my AI factory that I'm going to buy from Dell, that is supported by a NVIDIA GPU and CPUs, will do this on every stock in the world. All I got to do then is sort them by that number. What is the total return I'm going to get over the next 2.5 years? And then make my investment decisions. This is how I go about investing. This is how I think you should consider going about investing. Build yourself this kind of spreadsheet and acquire the data, then buy yourself probably a $36,000 AI factory when it becomes available from Dell, and you can make better investment decisions. Now, if you don't have time to do that, if you have another job you want to pursue or other interests, you can come get on the bus. I'll give you access to my cheat sheet, which is supported by this kind of analysis. You now know what I do with my time. And if you want to be a part of it, I want to help you make better investment decisions. I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer. I'm a retired financial advisor, and I spend my time trying to make better investment decisions. Talk to you again tomorrow.